Hey y'all, it's gonna be 29 degrees here tonight, and I've watched a lot of videos about people cooking Boston butts overnight and 10 hours and all that. I got an 8-pound butt. Generally, I cook my butts during the daytime for about 8 to 10 hours. So, is there an advantage to cooking your Boston butt overnight? Let's find out. All right, so it's 7 p.m. here in South Carolina on a night that it's going to be down to 29 degrees, which is really cold for us. Okay, so we're doing a Boston butt. I've got my snake. Here, let me move this. I've got my snake method laid out. I got some apple wood laid in there. All right, I'm planning on doing it all the way around because of the temperatures tonight. And what I'm gonna do, this gap right here, that's where I got about 12, 14 briquettes, the chimney, and dump them in, and we're gonna let it go. And the plan is 225 degrees for 10 hours. So can we do it on the Weber kettle? Does it really take all night? And can we do 225 degrees when it's 29 degrees outside? Let's find out. All right, let's get this Boston butt ready to go. All right, this is a bone-in butt. We're gonna leave the bone in there. It's gonna give us a little bit of extra flavor. All right, so we'll take our butt, we'll put it in our little roasting pan, and we're gonna take my standard rub that I always use, and I'll put what it is in the description when I do the recipe. And well, that's 2 tablespoons of butt rub, 2 tablespoons of garlic salt, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of black pepper. All right, now we're gonna rub the rest of it. Same stuff. Make sure we get those ends covered real good, and the sides. I've never cooked a Boston butt at night before. Never cooked a Boston butt when it was gonna be 29 degrees outside at night before. I've cooked many a Boston butt. I'm gonna be real liberal with this. It's hard to, Boston butt's big roast. It can take a lot of seasoning. All right, we're gonna let this butt sit here. We're gonna light the grill. We're gonna get the grill up to 225 degrees, and we're gonna throw the butt on the grill. And I'm figuring we'll throw the butt on the grill about 2000 hours. That should mean it'll be ready to come off at 6 a.m. 0600. All right, so I'm gonna put my little pan back in here. Okay, so we've got our pan in. Now I'm gonna dump my coals right back here on the back side of my pan. And now I'm gonna work them over here. I'm not gonna grab that, but I'm gonna work these coals over here so that they start my snake. I'll start my snake burning. All right, the cool thing about this is I've never done snake method before. So you guys are learning this with me. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put my grill grate on, because that's gonna be kind of important, right? And I'm gonna leave my flip ups on the 2 sides that I'm most likely to need to add. If I'm gonna have to add coals, that I want them on that side. All right, I'm gonna take my grill grate temperature probe. I'm gonna stick it in there. And for right now, it's on the far side away from everything. Okay? I'm gonna set my cover on, far away from the heat. And I'm gonna set my vents. And I'm setting my vents so that I get 250 degrees. And once I get 250 degrees, then we'll put the butt on. I've cooked enough on this that I think I pretty much know where 250 degrees is on the vents, and we'll talk about that later. For right now, we wait. All right, one thing that I do want to do, and I forgot about, I do want to put some apple juice in my pan, because I'm gonna let this thing go all night. I'm only gonna put about half a cup, but I'm gonna let this thing go all night, and I'm not gonna stay up and watch it. So I don't want to dry this out. Now I did that as I almost had my temperature right. So the cold apple juice is sending my temperature back south, so now I got to wait on my temperature to come back up. And we're going at 225 to 250. That's our goal. We will suffer another heat sink when we put the Boston butt on, because it's room temperature, but it's cooler than the grill. So once I get this temperature line back out, settled in, 225, then we're gonna put the butt on. I'm gonna put my ThermoPro into the butt. We're gonna pull it off at 205. I do have a remote with this, so it will wake me up if it happens in the middle of the night, which I don't anticipate, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right, I've got my dome temperature at 225 degrees. My grate temperature is 170. I normally don't go by my grate temperature. Okay, I'm just doing this because this is something new. This is a test. All right, and this is a big heat sink that I'm putting on there right now. So my snake, we're just getting going. We've been going about 15 minutes, and it is about 8 inches around. So let's conduct this experiment. All right, we need to stick our ThermoPro temperature probe in here, and I'm gonna run it all the way in. I don't want it on the bone because that's gonna give me a false reading. So I've got my grate temperature, which is on the back side, far away from the heat. Currently, that'll change. And I have my temperature on the meat. So what I'm gonna do with my dome temperature indicator is put it at the end of the snake. And we'll see how it goes. The reason I did this is I wanted the TI in the cool zone. All right, this is gonna be the last update for a little while unless there's a reason for it. I'm at 235 on my dome temperature. I'm at 183 on the grate back here. And I started my snake over here. So almost 180 degrees from the snake, I'm at 183. My dome temperature is 235, which is what I cook by anyway. So we're just gonna let it roll now. I got my apple juice in my pan. If I'm looking, I ain't cooking. Unless something bad happens to the temperature, I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, it's now 0700. We've had the butt on the grill for 11 hours. About 2 hours ago, I added a little bit more charcoal. Didn't really need to. I burned the snake about halfway through. That's also when we hit a stall. It stalled at 144 degrees. It appears to have come through the stall, as we're now internal temperatures up to 150. So we're gonna leave it on, see how long it takes. You can, when you hit a stall, you can wrap it. You can put it in a pan and put a tent over it or whatever, and that'll help power through the stall. But this time we're just gonna let it go, and we'll see how long it takes. All right, we've been cooking this 8-pound butt for 13 hours now, and we're starting to come out of the stall. I thought we'd come out of it earlier, but it was still hanging around. So now we're up to 161 degrees internal temperature. We're only 44 degrees away. So we'll check back in a little while. Like I said before, you know, I could wrap this thing and speed it right on through the stall, but I want to see how long it's going to end up taking me to do an 8-pound butt. All right, after only 17 and a half hours, we finally made it through the stall. We got to 205 degrees internal. Let's check it out. Let's get this thing off the grill. I got it in this aluminum pan. I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna let it rest for about an hour. It's had a really nice long cook. We'll just let it rest. It'll cook a little bit more while we're doing that. And then we go see how it tastes. All right, so we let it rest for about 45 minutes. Now let's uncover it. Let's see how good we did. Got a nice pretty bark on it. Look at that bone. Look at the way that bone came out of there. Look at that. Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's gonna be real good. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chip this. Just have some barbecue. Let's have a taste. Man, that's good. Let's have another taste. I don't know if you can see that bark. Let's have a taste of that bark. Okay, that's my 17.5-hour Boston butt. We cooked it at 250 degrees the whole way. Put it on at 8 o'clock last night. At about 4 o'clock this morning, it hit a stall. It came out of the stall around 11 o'clock. It stalled at about 142 degrees, and it came out of the stall at 11 o'clock, and we cooked it for another 2.5 hours after that before we hit 205 internal. Anyway, man, it was worth the wait, but I sure am glad I put it on last night. So anyway, I'll put the recipe down in the description, and until I see y'all again, y'all keep on grilling.